I think that this is, as you said, setting the stage for the end times. I was really quite amazed at the spiritual warfare. I mean, we can't see it, but we can definitely perceive it. The spiritual warfare that was taking place in the Middle East over the last particularly 3 or 4 weeks. Israel was finally going into Gaza City. It was finally going to destroy what was left of Hamas, and the whole world essentially stepped in to save Hamas. And it's a very similar scenario to what happened when Israel attacked Iran earlier this year, take out the nuclear program and the missile threats to Israel. And President Trump, just as the Israelis were getting ready to decapitate the Iranian regime, President Trump stepped in and prevented Israel from finishing the job. And so it's very frustrating to see that Israel is so close to defeating its enemies, and then the enemies seem to always, at the end, get a reprieve. So, I see that what's behind all of this is we see the natural effects of war and of the war machines, of the weapons. But behind the scenes, it's an intense spiritual battle taking place. In the end, basically, we know that the land of Israel will be divided. The prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 2, says that it will be divided and God will be enraged and will judge the Gentile nations for what they've done. And so I think, again, this is stage setting. A lot of people, you just mentioned the peace and safety verse. It's in 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 3, where the Apostle Paul writes that peace and safety and then sudden destruction comes upon them. When you see a lot of Bible commentators on the internet, they're saying that this is that. And this is not that, because basically Paul is writing this verse very clearly referring to the peace treaty that the Israelis will sign with the Antichrist at the beginning of the tribulation. So what we've seen is nowhere near what Paul is talking about, but the stage is definitely being set. And as I've mentioned before on several occasions, I really do believe that if we are in the generation of the rapture and we're final generation, that these Abraham Accords are the basis. Because Daniel 9 tells us that the Antichrist will confirm a peace treaty with Israel. Is he just confirming a treaty that's already in existence? Is he expanding that treaty with Israel? We know that a very big part of that deal will allow Israel to rebuild the temple and to resume the sacrificial system. We're not close to that, but definitely the stage is being set.
To hear the full program and connect with this nonprofit radio ministry, go to thechristianworldview.org. I'm David Wheaton.